All right, let's get this all set up here. Let's go to YouTube. Make sure everything's good. What's up, Omega? How's it going? Let's turn that on. Save. Link. Give me 1 second. It's been a bit, definitely. Been quite a while. We are sort of unboxing. I probably should have put the title as that, actually. Why not? Okay, that was weird. All right, we're all good now. What's up, Joel? Long time no see, right? Hey, what's happening? C3DS. Let's see who this is. So actually, I never took off the screen film, so that's still good. And I don't plan on taking it off either. What's up, Kyle? Kyle. Sorry. Kyle. Man. All right, so we'll give it a couple minutes here, just to let some people in. If you guys can, share this out. And yes, we are on all platforms. We are on Twitch. We are on Twitter. We're on Facebook, on multiple accounts. We're on YouTube. We're also on TikTok as well, which is just out of frame here. So, what's up, Yubi? Of course, I don't see people's comments from mine. Why would I? I swapped to YouTube instead of Facebook since no one else was commenting. Carl in the house. All right. Well, what's up, Carl? Carl. Okay. I'm gonna grab a quick couple chips here. Mr. Maker Man, what's up? There, I think that'll be much better because then I can read everything fluidly. Sweet. Thank you. We're going to be unboxing the MIRACO scanner here in a quick second. Technically, it's an unboxing, so just wanted to throw that out there that it's an unboxing because, well, I technically already unboxed it. And when I unboxed it, it was still in the earliest stages of firmware, so it was nowhere near ready to even show off. And I didn't update it until I was done with the video, and Revopoint asked me to redo one. So I said, sure, why not? Printed something bigger than my wash station, so trying to figure that out. That's always fun. So here's the easiest way. Put one half in the bucket, wash it, flip it over, put the other half in. And then as for curing, well, it's kind of hard to do that. So you can either try and prop the item in a certain way or just be best to throw it outside for a little bit, let it tan in the sun for, 15 minutes or so on each side. And there you go. And yes, thank you for all the follows on Twitch there. That is something I'd like to start building up. But all right, so I think we're ready to rock and roll here. I'm going to switch directly over to this solo layout. 15 minutes aside, yeah, essentially. All right, so there we go on my awesome desk there for everyone to see. Take you guys off power, and we'll put you right next to the camera. No, that's too close. There we go. Okay, so this is the Revopoint MIRACO scanner, and this is the latest scanner from Revopoint. And I had a chance to play around with this at Earth for a little, I'd say 10 minutes. And I instantly hooked. I've actually been hooked on Revopoint's products since Rapid TCT when they did the entire scan of me. One person specifically, his name's Kyle, and he basically was the salesman for Revopoint and sold me on every point because I did have a Revopoint Pop 1 at the time, and I just hadn't used it because the software was not that great. Well, since then, they have updated their software quite drastically, and it's a far superior scanner than it was when I first got it. So that's definitely a plus. So we're here to check out this new one and see how it goes. And yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to re-unbox this scanner. So here's everything in all of its glory. Now we do have a turntable. We have a phone mount. There are some cables in here. We'll get to those in a second. We have our actual mount here. And then we have the scanner itself. Obviously, this is usually wrapped in a plastic, like a frosted plastic. We have our calibration scan. It's basically just to show you proof of concept that it actually does scan. It's just like a test print on a printer. That's exactly what it is. We do have a large charger with dual ports on it, and this is a 65-watt charger. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this is dual 65-watt or if this is 32.5 by 32.5. Usually that's how they go, but with how beefy it is, it might be a 65 and then like a 25 or whatever. And then last but not least, we do have some extra type of power supply pieces. That's for other parts of the world. Be it in Australia, Asia, Europe, whatever it may be. That's where you guys are going to use that. And then we also have a hand strap, which I highly recommend using whenever you are using the scanner. Now, we'll talk about that in a little bit, the handheld strap. But yeah, so we have our Revopoint branded power supply. We have our turntable. And this actually has a clockwise and counterclockwise switch. And it also has a minimum and maximum speed. And it is USB-C powered. So that's kind of nice if you have this with the dual USB-C. That might work very well with it. So definitely give that a check out. Let me move you guys up here so I can actually read what you're saying. There we go. Yeah. Okay. How was your nap? I didn't take a nap. What price point is this going to be at? So as of right now, this ranges anywhere between $700, almost pretty much $800 to up to retail, which would be $1,600 when it's all said and done. This is currently going on Kickstarter right now, so I do highly suggest looking into that. I know Kickstarter is a big thing for a lot of people, but this one, I'll be honest, is one of the few that I can easily say it's okay to back this one. I usually don't say that you should back a Kickstarter, and I'm not necessarily saying that, but this is probably one of the better ones to back because it is a known brand. They've been doing this pretty much since day one. I think actually all their scanners have been Kickstarters from the get-go. So again, while it's not the greatest to utilize for a marketing tool, it does happen and is a common thing in China. So it's never going to go away ever. So anyway, so we have the fancy scanner. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. We have our bust, which is basically just like a white marble feeling bust. I think it's like a ceramic bust. Put that on there. The stand I'm not going to take out because we won't need it. This is pretty much meant to be a mobile unit the entire time. This is the phone holder for the stand as well, so you can utilize that. In here we have an HDMI to HDMI micro. Sorry, USB-C. So it's a USB-C to an HDMI. And what this does is it allows you to have a video out. So if you need to showcase the scanner out to or anything like that, and they need a bigger screen, this would probably be the best option for you. We have the turntable power cord, powers and connects to mini turntable to a power bank or a socket. So this one will not plug directly into that dual charger because this actually has a USB-C to USB-A, whereas that's USB-C to USB-C. And then they provide you with a pretty long cord. This is probably like 6 feet. So that's a long USB cord, and it is a nice USB cord. It's nice and thick, so that should last quite a while. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the unboxing part of it. So now let's take a look at the scanner and see how it is. But before I do anything, okay, so let's first and foremost talk about this scanner and everything that I got right now, and this strap as well. So Revopoint obviously sent this to me to check out and review and kind of give my thoughts on it. So we will do that. I've already done some scanning with it. Again, this is kind of like a re-unboxing. Just looks like such a nice solid piece of hardware. I do agree 100% on that. It is very, very nicely balanced and everything. And I'm not a camera guy, but I know people who like shooting with cameras. This will be a nice weighted piece because it kind of reminds you of the old style cameras. But anyway, so I do want to point out that this is kind of like a prototype. So as far as I know, there are 3 versions out there. This is the second version, and the third version will be the final production model. However, there is quite a few things that are going to change, at least on the internal from this, but stuff that you guys really wouldn't notice because it's more of a cosmetic thing. So and we can kind of go over that if you really want to, but it's nothing like they're going to change a major part. It's just like the way that some of the inner workings on the front work properly, because this unit doesn't necessarily have all of its working parts. So I just wanted to point that out, that it is a good scanner, but there are some pieces that are lacking that will be on the production model. So just wanted to throw that out there. Anyway, moving on to the strap here. Now, this strap looks very, very nice, but I will tell you that it's not the nicest to have in your hand for a long period of time. I'm not a big leather person or faux leather, whatever you want to call this. But this basically is like an El Cheapo style leather, not real, fake leather. And it has an adjustment here to hold the wrist strap at whatever point you want it to, which, yes, that's very nice. And then it has this center piece on the top here, and that screws into the center of the Revopoint. It's really, really nicely designed. It is very chunky. I am a little worried about this this dual ring here. So one of the people who have been testing this with me, along with a couple other people, they suggested getting one of these. Now this is a camera strap that is made out of the nylon paracord, or maybe it's just paracord, whatever. But this feels much better. It's much more breathable. It's just easier and softer on my wrist. And then the biggest thing out of all of it is it's actually longer on on this piece. So we have talked to Revopoint. I'm not sure if they're going to change anything, but this would be a nice addition. So you can see you get a good what, probably 10 millimeters on that, maybe a little bit more. I'd say 10 is a good thing. That's a good amount. So this does allow you to have a little bit more flexibility with the scanner itself. So what's up, Canadian Maker Project? So I hope that I left this charged, because otherwise that would be horrible, but it should be. So we're gonna put this on, and I'm going to put the strap on. That sounds so bad. And then we're gonna basically tie it up. Okay, so now it's nice and holding, and that will probably not come off. It's going to take a lot. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of room here on the strap that that make it allowable to move it very easy. I can hand it off like that. I can maneuver it whatever I want to. So I know some people might not like that much length on it. If that's not the case, then use the stock strap. But I like this secondary one. It makes a lot of difference. So without further ado, let's get this all set up here. I'm gonna move the camera up just a tad, and that way you guys can see the Revopoint scanner. I don't know if that's going to work, but all right. So I'll show you guys off the actual scanner part. So as you can see, there are several different cameras and LED lights. Now, because this is a pre-production unit, some of the, well, I don't think any of the LED lights are working on it currently. They're disabled last time I heard. If they're going to be enabled, I don't know in this model. I think there's just a electrical issue with it. But anyway, the camera itself, while it kind of looks like there's a single camera, it's like it is a camera, but it's a dual. It was originally a dual camera that they were going to put in there, but then they decided to go with a better, higher resolution camera and put it singular. So that's why if you look at any of the information on this scanner, you will see that it has one center camera on it, and that will be the production model. What's the approximate price that it's going to be? So this ranges anywhere from $800 pretty much to $1,500 retail. So this is on Kickstarter. There are a handful of units left. So if you are looking to get into it, check out the link on my profile for YouTube, and you can purchase it through that link, or even just check it out through that link, and that would just help out. So I just walked back into the room. Is that strap on Amazon? Yes, it is on Amazon. So I can provide links to this if you guys really want to, but I personally like it. It's just a lot easier feeling on my wrist. So isn't there a regular and a pro version? Yes. So technically you are correct. I don't think they list them as that. Maybe they finally went ahead and did. But there are two versions. There's a 16 gigabyte version and a 32 gigabyte version. Now that means the processing RAM that is allowed on this. Now, in full disclosure, these are 16 gig units that only went out to the reviewers. So we don't even get the nice fancy stuff. We just get what we need to for testing. So anyway, moving on, we do have two very nice grips. They're not like, they're textured, but they're like a rubberized texture. So they feel very nice. They're almost like a camera grip, but usually camera grip like a Canon camera grip. They're usually still plasticky, whereas these are rubber. On the top here, we have a capture button, just as you would on a camera. And the right-hand side, we have the little teeny power button you guys can see there. And then on the left side of it, I say left because I'm using it this way, is the USB-C charging, and this is quick charging, which is really, really nice. And then here's the nice, I believe this is a 7-inch screen. And what's really nice is you can lift this up and have it face you to do a selfie or portrait mode if you ever so wish. Or you can just kind of scan something that, you know, is possibly in front of your face and it makes it easier. I really don't know. But that's the case for that. Very, very nice. That is really, really cool to have. So without further ado, let's turn it on. And again, hopefully I charge this thing. This is the 3D scanner. Yes, it is, sir. So we're kind of doing a faux unboxing because I already unboxed this and I've been using it a little bit. I need to find a screen protector for this that will fit. All right, so there it is loading up. And again, like I said, this is a 16 gigabyte version. So you got to understand that this isn't the best. So I need one of these bad. So linked in the bio or the description of this video on my YouTube channel is it's not really an affiliate link. It's more or less like a tracking link to show who I have reached. So if you guys use that, that's great. If not, just use Kickstarter and look at Revopoint. What's the damage? So these range anywhere between $800 to $1,600. And the $1,600 is going to be after the fact when they're actually in retail. There are two versions. There is a 16 gig version and a 32 gig version. And this is the 16 gig version. Now, this is also version 2, as I've stated before. So everything that you guys will be backing and getting a hold of will be stage 3 or version 3, whatever you want to call it. So, all right. So basically, I just want to go through and I'll show some of the scans that I did here. But as you guys can see, there is 3 different cameras. Let me try and move this camera a little bit closer so I can get you guys in the same shots. Come on. Oof, that is washed. Terrible. There we go. Hey, Santa. Santa, baby. Throw another game in the tree. All right. So, as you can see, you don't really see me very well on this scanner, right? Let's prop you guys up there. All right. So, you guys don't really see me too well in the scanner, right? First off, I'm wearing a black t-shirt, but the other thing that you're not noticing, if you are looking, there are different modes here that are right in front of this camera, and it's kind of hard to see. But right next to this, it says auto, and then there's a far and close feature. So now if I switch that, you will probably see a little bit of me, and there you go. So now you can see me being scanned right as I'm talking into it. And it's really weird because there's like an IR sensor right there, and I'm looking directly in the camera. So I don't know how creepy it looks, but that does kind of look a little creepy. You know, I haven't been the best this year, but give a guy a break, Santa, and bring me the scanner. I wish. Sorry, Santa's all booked up. But anyway, so as you can see, it tracks very, very well. And then on the top here, you can see that there's a gauge. And that gauge will tell you if you're good or you're bad. It's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Now you got me going with the whole Santa thing. But yeah, so it's really, really cool because it'll tell you how good you are to scan. As you can see, the closer I get, I start losing tracking, and it'll tell me I am too close. So I start pulling away, and now it's going to be like, oh, you're excellent, but you can go pretty much all the way back. You just got to be careful when you go back there. You want to stay within the green. So as long as that green bar is good and going, that's exactly where you want to be. What are these for? So this is actually a scanner that can basically scan anything you want. So if I wanted to scan myself and turn myself into a 3D file, and that's actually already happened. So this is a miniature of me that was scanned by one of their bigger scanners, and basically this is a 50 millimeter version of me standing straight up, and the details are pretty cool. So I basically could 3D print myself on demand. But that's exactly what this is for. This is for like rapid prototyping. Let's say you have a part to a car and you're trying to retrofit something. So you can take a scan of that area and fit in the dimensions and everything before you mock everything up. So this is very, very useful tool for a lot of different things like that. But then there's also like reverse engineering, which technically is kind of a no-no in a lot of people's eyes, but it happens here and there. But if you guys are interested, go look at my YouTube. It is the same Akuma Mods channel. We are live right now on there as well. And there is a link down in the description there. So you guys can check this out too. But yeah, that's basically how it is. The other feature that I wanted to show you, you may or may not be able to see, which it has, as you can see, it has continuous and it has single shot. Now, what's really cool about this scanner is continuously shooting, it's basically shooting frame by frame by frame. So it's really, really cool because that's a normal 3D scanner. That's what it does, is it scans frame by frame by frame. Or you can try and get something a little bit better and just choose single shot and scan shot by shot by shot by shot. And you can basically scan yourself and piece it all together, and it might be easier. Because one of the things that's a major downfall with most 3D scanners that I've at least seen is tracking. Tracking is basically keeping a hold of the model that you are scanning and making sure that it tracks where it needs to go. Most of the time, what happens is this will glitch out and start coming over here. So my beard will be completely out of frame because it sees that that's tracking there, and it adjusts the entire setup that you were already utilizing it for. So it is a little bit buggy in terms of that if you use continuous, but it can turn out very, very good prints or scans, I mean. But again, if you're wanting to have a little bit easier times, the single shot works just as well. It's basically like a fancy photogrammetry. So, oh, okay. Why does my camera keep going off? I don't know. How much better than an iPhone with Polycam? Um, I really don't know. I've never used the iPhone with a Polycam, so I can't say for certain how good this is against it. But I will tell you that this has the software to do all the scanning and the processing all in one. So this is basically like a handheld computer here. So really, really cool. What's up, Crafty Kid? How's it going, man? Evil Prince, how's it going? So without further ado, let's go into some of the scans that I've already done with this, and I'll show you. So one of the things that I had showed off on a TikTok live before was somebody was asking about details, facial recognition. How does it do hair? That was one of the major things that I saw a lot of people asking about. Now, I have pretty dark hair. Now, obviously, it does have some silver flake in it from being, damn near 40. And so it does have that. And it does track very, very well. But what's really, really cool about these is I usually scan in color, so you don't have to scan in color. But here is a basic scan that I did, and I'm going to try and zoom this in, and you'll see like how pixelated everything is, and it'll show you like pixelated in a good way. It basically breaks up all of the scan that you did. And this is a single shot scan. Okay, so this is quite ridiculous. What's up, Darth? How's it going, man? So this is really, really cool because it was just a single scan, and I literally just put it right up here. So like I said, one of the problems with this specific model, because it's the prototype essentially, is the fact that none of the LEDs work. So me trying to get this shot was a royal pain because it utilized the blocking of my shop light, which is right above me. which is shining down ridiculously on the live stream here. Jesus, sorry about that. I look super whitewashed out. Anyway, but yeah, so I took that in kind of a lower light formity. So that's a pretty good scan. Now, what's really cool is you scan it, and then there's this uh, one tap edit, and that basically automatically adjusts everything that you need to. Now you can go into the different menus and fix the mesh up if you really want to. I'll be completely honest, I'm still fairly new to the whole scanning aspect of stuff. So I don't really know exactly what all those fields do and how to process it a little better. So I'm just going to stick with the noob one scan. And once it's done, we can basically turn off the color and we can see how the scan is. Now I'm going to try and show this in here. It's going to be kind of hard, but you guys can see the hairline of my hair. Okay. So that was just a single shot photo. That's it, of the upper side of my head. So that's pretty good, I'd say. Not bad. Okay. So that's just one of several that I've done so far. I also tried scanning my face a little bit. So we'll go into that. I think this one is better than the other one. I do have another facial scan, and it looks real creepy because, like, one eye is up in my head almost. And oh, this is the creepy one. Never mind. So this is my creepy scan that I took head on, and you can see how creepy this is. Like, yeah, that's a little creepy there. Yeah, definitely. But again, you can go in and look at the mesh. This one actually I did not process yet, so we can go through and process it. But this is what the mesh looks like once you get it all scanned in. You can see that there's just like all these polygons that make up your face. Really, really cool how it processes everything. But if we wanted to process it, I'm just going to do the one tap editing. And again, this is the 16 gig version. So Kuma Dynamite, boss. Yeah. So it is a little bit slow depending on how many photos you take and how detailed the actual print is. Pretty much meaning how close you can get it and how many essentially pixels that your print is showing off of. So sorry. So we'll let this go and run off on it. Let's go and talk about some of the price points on here. So there is 32 days to go, and it is a Kickstarter project. Again, I know that I can never tell you to back a Kickstarter, but if you are looking to actually do a Kickstarter backing, this is probably one of the better ones to do. If not the only one that I would personally trust to back, and know for sure that I'm going to get the product I want out of it because they've released, as far as I know, all of their scanners via crowdfunding. So, all right. So the pledges that we have currently are a early bird 16 gigabyte, and looks like that is $844. Then we have the launch special, which is $883. And that's the 16 gig, if I didn't say. Then we have the Kickstarter limited special. So that's if the other two are sold out. That's $935 for a 16 gig. And then for the 32 gig, the lowest one that they have available right now is $1,039. So $1,039 for it. And that basically gets you the 32 gig version. Now with this, how this is processing, I do highly suggest getting the 32 gig, but I've been using the 16 gig with very little problem. I just know that this is an all-in-one. I basically have a computer in my system computer in my hands, computer system in my hands. So for it to take a while to process, I can understand that because it is shooting with a 48 megapixel camera. So that is insanely detailed, and that's just trying to gather all this stuff up. So it's completely understandable. So again, that's 1,039 for the early bird. Looks like there's about 236 of those left. Then we also have the launch special, which is 1087. The Kickstarter limited 1151. So pretty much the most that you would pay to have one would be around $1,200, give or take, which isn't too bad. That's if you decided last minute, and everything was sold out. That's the last one that you can take. So, let's see. Have you seen it scanning large items like vehicles or statues? So I have not seen it do anything like that personally. I've only seen videos. However, with the videos that I saw with the cars, one of them was very good. The other one was kind of so-so. And so I figured, hey, I have a silverish car. Maybe I can try and scan my car and see how well it actually does and go from there. So you guys will see a video of me scanning my car at some point because I did want a scan of it anyway. I did want to have the ability to print it because I love that car. To a lot of people, it's nothing spectacular, but to me, it's something. So, are you able to save out the raw scans to save space on the unit? Yeah, so there's two ways that you can link to your computer. This does have onboard Wi-Fi because it does basically have an Android backing into it, just like your phone. So that basically has most of the features that come with the cell phone. Just obviously, most of them are locked out because you only need a handful. But there is the ability to utilize Wi-Fi and send the files to the I was going to say the printer, the computer, and save all of your metadata, your raw files, whatever it is, on this scanner and take it off because there is only so much that you can store on this. I don't know what the extent of that is, but it actually I do. Never mind. I take that back. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, the you can do that or you can do it via USB. So, and there will be an update to the RevoScan software for the Morocco or Miraco, however they say it. I like calling it the Miraco, but I think its actual name is the Morocco. Anyway, so there you go. We have it all processed. So here's my actual face of the STL file. It's not horrible, but it does still look very creepy. Especially that one eye where it's just like staring straight up there. Yeah, it does not look very pretty, but you guys can kind of see what's going on there. But you can see all of the major details of my lovely what do they call those? Like scars, not scars, but whatever, crinkles. That sounds wrong. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words right now. But anyway, so yeah, we can basically mess with the textures, the mesh. We can get this probably even a lot better than what it was because again, we're just using the one touch option, which is basically like automatic features. So it just does an okay job. Good enough for most people, again, but if you know anything about 3D modeling, you'll be like, there's a facet here, there's a missing hole here, all kinds of stuff. So, you can go in and edit things. But what's cool about that is like I said, you can basically edit stuff right on here. So when you go into the different types of modes here on the left, there's raw data, fused, meshed, and then textured. When you go into fused, you can actually edit out pieces of the scan right here. So let's say, I don't know, for some reason I just didn't want my whole collar piece in there, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the rectangle or the lasso, whatever I want, and I'm going to click on it. And there we go. So now I have this part specifically scanned into red. I know out there you guys are having an issue with the lighting over here. I wish I knew how to use my Revopop scanner. Download the RevoScan 5 software. It'll make your life a whole heck of a lot easier. But anyway, so I have that all selected there. You see it's in red. It does have a little bit of my beard, so I can cancel that or I can invert it, whatever I want to. But let's say I just wanted to delete that. So now that's all deleted from the actual file, and I can save that as the raw file and basically send it to the computer and have it already pre-cleaned up if I have time to do it. Or I can do all this stuff on the computer. It doesn't really matter. So we're just going to hit back right now, and that's going to stay out there unless we save it. It'll change back to the original. But anyway, we'll go into some other scans that I did. This one I did on a live stream here on TikTok, and you guys may or may not know what that is, but this is the Bamboo Labs X1 Carbon that's right here. So we scanned that, and what was really, really crazy about it is it did get the extruder head very well, and the door was closed, okay? So mind that. Now, I did edit this out. So, like, over here, there was a lot of junk on here because of the reflection of the glass front. So I just edited that all out, and it is no longer there. So now if we take this off, we could actually see that there was stuff printing on the bed. There's the handle for the door. There's the hot end. There's the touch screen. I was going to say scanner, but there's the touch screen, and there's all of the front end of the actual printer itself. So it does capture stuff very, very well, even though it is kind of nerfed compared to the production models that are going to be out there. So let's see, what other ones do we have? Oh, here's a really good one. So this was another singular shot one that I did at work, and you guys may have seen my TikTok short video, whatever, about this. But basically, I just took a photo just straight on. That's all I did, was just take this and scan it just like that. I didn't actually like scan it back and forth, nothing. It was just a singular picture. Now, from that singular picture, you can clearly see that there are some lines and waviness to this file. Now, obviously, since we did it straight head on, it didn't capture all of the raw data or what it thought was the raw data that needed to be captured. So if we took another picture from down below like this, we would fill in those gaps when it meshes together. So you can do things like that if you need to. But as of right now, it did a fairly good job at processing everything, and it literally processed the same exact type of file. So it's almost no different than the color version, which is really, really cool. That did a phenomenal scan, and that was bright yellow with a lot of traffic on it. Here's the test bust I wanted to show you guys off that I did. I didn't do like a crazy scan on it. It was just a quick, like really raw scan. I had this probably ready in 10 minutes, and that was it. So, but it did mesh very, very well. You can see all of the hair pieces on there. Sorry for you guys in the other land. Okay. That might have worked. I don't know. But anyway, you can kind of see that the hair outline and everything is there. Oh God, I don't want to do anything. So if you do mess with any of these settings, like you want to refuse it and stuff like that, you want to basically fix it up, I will ask you to override it. So if you do mess with that stuff and you don't know what you're doing, I do highly suggest on saving it before you do that. So, but what's up, Clint? How's it going, man? Was not expecting you on TikTok. Yeah, you want to see the turn model blue. All right, so there we go. So again, the scan is almost identical to what the actual print is, or the color scan. Now there is a slight difference in the nose area here, and like this whole area up top here. It's not the greatest of a scan. Again, it was a quick scan. It wasn't anything that I was like gonna sit there and hold it in there. But
This was a very, very simple scan, and it got a lot of the soft edgings and stuff like that. It's a really nice bust that they include all the time. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Like I said, you can edit anything you want on this system, which is really really nice. You can enable hide surfaces, so you can hide the actual surface that you're working on. And then there's also the distance meter, so you could actually up the distance even a little bit more. So this here says that adjusting scanning distance is set at 300, but it can go up to 350. And the same for the far mode. The far mode picks up pretty well. You can also turn off the auto lighting. This does have 3 cameras that it's shooting at. So as you can see, there's 1 camera, 2 camera, 3 camera. One of them is an IR, one of them's a color camera, and one's the actual scanner itself. Again, this is a 48 megapixel scanning camera, so very, very high end and nice. Accuracy, we pretty much leave it on high, but you can utilize standard. There are the features or marker adjustments. Object type, you could do general, dark, or body. Those are probably the 3 common ones that anybody's going to use. And then you can decide on whether or not you want to see it in color or not. I think that's a great thing, but a lot of people I can see have issues with that because it does kind of give you a false sense of what's going on with the scan itself. So it might be a little bit better for you to start in what's called a blue scan, and basically no color. That's what it means, in short. But yeah, if you utilize that, you'll probably understand how to scan this a little bit quicker. Because, like I said, the color one can kind of throw you off, especially if you have some darker colors or similar darker colors all around you. That can definitely throw you off. Again, you can turn that on or off for color. That's completely up to you. We're going to leave it on. You guys can see my hand here. This one, I'm not sure what this does. I haven't touched this. All right. So you can see that it's in a fair range. Now we're going to bring it closer, and we're in an excellent range. But let's say I want to get a scan further away. I can switch this to a far mode, and let's see how far away that is. So that's not even close enough for it. All right, there we go. So we're good 2 feet away from that. So let's say I just wanted to shoot my shot. Okay. All right. So we scanned my arm and my hand really quick, and you can see it's all done. So now we're going to go into the bottom right here. That's basically where all our files are. And then we're just going to do a one-tap edit. Now, since it's just a singular picture, it's nothing major, and it doesn't have a lot of various colors in it, it'll definitely start processing a lot faster. Now, I don't know if this thing gets faster the more you use it, the more you keep it on. I really have no idea, but there could be some method behind that that I don't fully understand. So that was single shot mode. Yeah. So now we're processing just a single shot. Now, I could have taken a scan of the top, the bottom, and everything, but it's kind of hard to do that with one hand. And maybe we'll do one later because I do have a Nintendo Power Glove that I want to have it modeled like on a wall. So I'm going to take a photo just like that of my arm or a scan of my arm so that way I can have my specific arm, um, and utilize that for the prop essentially. What's the price? So as of right now, the most you will pay right now is $1,151. Now there's 2 versions. There's a 16 gig and a 32 gig. I have the 16 gig. So all right. So now we have the hand scanned here. All right. So it looks very, very nice. It's all set up here. You even got some of my hair right there. I know you guys can't see it. It's whitewashed out, but there is hair follicles there. So let's go ahead and turn off the coloring and see how it did. So there you go. That's pretty good. And it did get my ring too. So obviously I'm wearing a ring, okay? And it got my ring. As you can see, the dark part that's right over here is my ring. So it does see that. There isn't a link right on this page, but if you go over to my YouTube, which we are live streaming on right now, there is a link there. So what does the mesh look like? So let's see what it does meshed. So here's the mesh data. So it's a little bit bumpy and everything. And again, take for example, this is a beta unit. Okay, so we're still working out a lot of bugs, so it's not going to be the greatest thing that you see, but it has produced some pretty dang good scans. Also, this is a one tap setting setup. I don't know nothing about how to properly mesh a scan, nothing like that. I will look into that further because I do want to try and start utilizing scanners for a lot of stuff. And I really need to get to know how to utilize this the way that it's intended. But as of right now, I just use the one tap feature, so it's okay. Um, just type in 3D scanner or Revopoint in Kickstarter, and you will find it. Yep. But yeah, there's the mesh, so it's like kind of all bubbly. I look like I'm breaking out in hives. I know you guys can't really see that, but there you go. So and that's pretty good because it didn't get any background noise or nothing. Sometimes you do get the background noise. That was a really good scan, actually. Sorry if you covered this, but what about a head scan? Yeah, so I did a head scan already. I can show you off. Oh, thank you for the galaxy. It's, absolutely not needed. So here, I just kind of did one. Did I do this one right now? I can't remember if I did one. I think I did. No, this is the creepy one that I did. So this was in a selfie mode because this screen does fold up and you can scan right there and scan yourself. So it is really, really cool to have that. Is it absolutely necessary? I really don't think so, but it's nice to have it. Especially if you know if you want to borrow this to somebody and they want to just scan their head. Okay, that's great. That would be great for people who are looking to do helmets. Um, Even though it's a minimalistic thing, you could just scan their head and you already have the dimensions. But here's the photo, the really creepy photo of what I took, and this is I think this is continuous if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't say how many frames there are, but I'm pretty sure that this one was taken in multiple. Um, Actually, no, I'm yeah. So this one, no, this one was not. So this one was taken like the right side of my face right here. But yeah, as you can see, I look real like crazy and dead. Um, so we're going to take off the color there, and we're going to see what the actual STL file is going to look like once it's to us. So you can see it got a good portion of my beard and everything, and all of my hair follicles and whatnot. It's not the greatest, obviously, because well, that's just the downside of a sub like $5,000 scanner. They're gonna be good, but only so good. They're not going to be spectacular. Um, you'll still have to play around with it. So, and then somebody was asking about meshed, so we'll see how it looks like meshed, which doesn't look much different meshed, in my opinion. Maybe a couple bubbles here and there in terms of like the skin tones, um, but that's about it. It looks pretty good. So, anyway, so that's pretty much it. And all these can be directly uploaded. But I'll be honest, the chances of you utilizing this entire scanner uh, size is going to be very hard to do. And that's because, again, like I said, this is Android based. So when you swipe down, I'm currently using 8% of storage on this device. I have my Wi-Fi connected. Screen rotation you want to have on because that's when you flip it to yourself to do selfie mode. Everything flips upside down and gets it right side up. We can take a screenshot so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Or even better, you can see literally everything that I do on the scanner, and you can use screen recording. Now, I don't know if these are just in beta units that have these features, these two specific features, but it would be great to see them in all if they're not, because I think that's really, really useful to showcase how well something can really scan. And when I scan the car, I'm probably going to use the screen record function just to see how it does. So, do you know if they are going to add the ability to connect to your laptop for added processing power? Um, I don't I don't know that actually because so the problem is I have a fairly new computer, but the problem is I don't have any USB-C ports on it. So this connects via USB-C port, and when I tried to connect a regular USB-C, it just was throwing errors nonstop. So it was going all wonky. So I left it. But I can connect directly Wi-Fi and just upload the files. But as for utilizing the slicer itself on a laptop, I don't know if that's a possibility. I truly don't. If I had the ability to connect to a computer, I can tell you. But how are exports handled? So exports are handled two ways: Wi-Fi or via USB transfer on your PC. And this utilizes USB-C, and it should utilize USB 3.0 ports. So it should be pretty quick to transfer onto whatever you're doing. Um, but again, let's go into the setup and storage. So here's all of your stuff. It does have software updates. Let's see if there's a software update for this. Oh, so there is a brand new update. So it says optimize the system memory allocation mechanism, solve the problem model post-processing crash. I haven't witnessed any crashes on this yet, but I know some people have. Fix the issue where only raw data remains in the project data after post-processing crash. So it does fix a lot of problems, and it will update that in a little bit. But there is a ability to change your time frame here. Um, then you have your USB preferences on how it's connected. You can do file transfer, no data, convert videos to AVC, blah, blah, blah. Then we have our Wi-Fi, our battery percentage. Now, I did reach out to Revopoint and say, hey, one of the issues that I see that I personally hate is on here, it just shows the battery percentage as in like how full the battery is, like an icon. I like percentage and icon if they can, but percentage better because it'll let me know when I'm scanning that this is an issue. I need to charge this. So hopefully they fix that. I would love to see that on there. Now, storage space, this has 256 gigs of storage on it. That's insane. I think you can be okay utilizing this for quite some time before you have to upload or remove anything from the scanner itself. Because as of right now, we have like probably 20 scans on here, and we're only using up 8% of the storage itself. We only put on 22 gigs of stuff, and we shoot specifically in high mode, nothing in low. We do have our display where you can change your brightness, and then you also have the automatic locking feature. You can put it on for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. So it's really, really nice to have that. We have a restore button, privacy policy, and all the information about this actual scanner. And that's pretty much it for right now. You do have your time frame or your time and your software, not software, your hardware update actually on the scanner itself. So it is kind of hard coded to each and every person that needs it. So, but anyway, I showed you guys off all the scans that I did, all the really cool ones, and that's about all we need to show you guys. Again, you can process all this stuff either on the Miracle scanner itself, or you can process it on your computer, whichever way. It probably would be best to process it on your computer just because the processing power is going to be that much more. But I think by the time you hook everything up, you get it transferred, this thing would probably process it by then. So this would probably be faster in reality, but people would think that when they throw it into a slicer or a software design program that it'll take like um, some time to do everything. Um, hold on, there was some stuff here. I was playing with some 3060K scanners the other week, and hair turns out the same, believe it or not. Really? What model is this? This is the Revopoint MIRACO. Uh, does it show which version of Android it runs? No, it does not. So they have this very much locked up in terms of that. I know one of the people that I saw at Earth utilizing this, she has access to the internals to the Android system. So she can do like side loading of apps. Basically, she hacked or jailbroke the Miracle scanner, which I'm sure is not that hard to do. As for failed scans, there was not really any failed scans. Like there's some weird ones on here, but nothing that really truly failed. Because here's the crazy thing about it, okay? When you start failing, like I said, going back to the whole tracking thing. So the issue is like tracking, 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 and then my arm ends up all the way over here while it's tracking. Well, there's these two little buttons right here that's backwards and forwards. So what we're going to do is if we lose tracking, we're just going to hit the pause button, which is right underneath the camera button. We're going to pause that, and we're basically going to go through and we're going to go back to delete those bad scans and start from where it is and go from there. And it'll scan right there. So you can basically do everything right then and there on the scanner, super easy. That was one of the cool things. And then supposedly from what I'm hearing is that if you are another Revopoint scanner user like myself, you can actually mesh the two scans from both of those scanners onto this one. So basically, you would have your normal scanner hooked up to your computer or your laptop, whatever it may be, whereas this one is everything on there. Process both of them, or process one. I'm sorry, scan both of them, get them all situated, and then put them together to process it, and then it becomes a one singular scan. So tacos make me H. That's awesome. I agree. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, you can turn off the auto white balance on these pretty easily. But yeah, I don't think I got anything else for you guys. That's really about it. If you guys are interested in the scanner, I do highly suggest checking it out. You can go on Revopoint's website, or there is a link in my YouTube this video. There is a link down below, and that's basically a tracker link just to show Revopoint how many people I have attracted to the Kickstarter through my sort of an affiliate link. It's just more or less like a representative link out of anything. And then last but not least, just to turn off the scanner is a simple hold down the power button that's on the right there. You can do reset or you can do power off. Now, can you go into a sleep mode? Absolutely. However, the battery still drains in sleep mode. So if you do utilize sleep mode, try not to use it too much because by the time you need to scan something next, most likely your battery is going to die. Now, talking about battery size is about 5,000 milliamps, I believe, is what they stated on this. So it does hold a good amount of charge, and like I said, it is weighted, but it's weighted in all the right places because it's got a nice finger grip setup. And I'm actually currently working on a a wall mount for this. I just need to make a slot for this thing, and then make a slot to be able to slide it in and out a little bit easier. But for the most part, we're ready to rock and roll and get it out there for you guys by the time it is released. And then I'm going to also look at screen protectors, because I'm not removing mine for a while, and as much as it angers me to see it, I definitely don't want anything happening to it. Um, so we're just going to leave it there. But I'm going to power this back on, and we're going to do a software update, so that way you guys can kind of see how easy it is to utilize this. Again, we're just going to turn it on, let it start up. It's got its fancy little logo there and its splash screen. God, I'm actually getting tired. What the heck? All right. So let's go to the settings, and we'll wait for the software update. All right, so there is an update, download, and install. All right, so now we're downloading. It's Akuma Mods. What's up? 3D GI prints. How's it going? Jeez. All right. So yeah, that's downloading pretty quick. It says it needs 1 to 5 minutes to download. So we're gonna let that be, and that's basically the gist of the scanner. So it does come with a lot of features, as you guys saw. That's a nice little turntable scanner. I actually have a full-size person scanner, which is really, really cool. It's an additive add-on on their website, but definitely worth it. So, what's up, Nicholas? How's it going? Reach out to Bullet Brand. I'm sure they'll be able to make screen protectors. I definitely will reach out to them. I work pretty closely with Bullet Brand on a lot of the printers. That's why I'd say maybe a handful of the printers that are here. I worked with him to make the screen protectors for it, but that was definitely on my list. If not, Mach 5, which we're going to start doing some promotion for as well. He would be my secondary chance, because he usually has just screen protectors for it already. So screen protector for the front almost be necessary to around the cameras with the camera cut. Yeah, I think so. So that was one of my gripes about this entire unit, was the fact that this is a fingerprint magnet. Like, you guys don't need to have it like this. You put a matte black paint on it, or cover, whatever it may be, and it'll be much easier to use, and it just, I won't have to be consistently cleaning this, or thinking that I have to consistently clean it. It would just be nice if it just stayed out of fingerprint territory. So, screen protector for the front, yeah. I'm still getting one of those. So, like I said, if you guys are interested in getting one of those, go and check out the live stream that we're doing right now on the YouTube channel. It's the same channel here, Guma Mods, and it's linked in the description as a sort of affiliate link, but not really. I don't get kickback for it, but it's just more or less like a promotional type thing, kind of like for you guys in TikTok land, a Keith Lee type thing. But anyway. It is a 3D scanner, yes. It is one of the newest ones. You're my favorite YouTuber. Aw, thanks. That means a lot. Because I really don't think I bring much to the table, to be honest here. All right. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this. I'm not going to let you guys hang on too much longer. We are at 88% on this this update. But yeah, like I said, we will do some more short form videos on this, and you guys will see all the cool stuff that we are going to scan with this. One of them being my car is going to be next. So I drive a 2016 Acura RLX. So it is the big boy that Honda Acura sold at the time. And it's a kind of bluish silver car. So I'm going to try and scan that and see how it does. So greatly appreciate the rundown. Can't wait for December. Agreed. It would be nice because, like I said, this is only the 16 gig version. It would be nice to have the 32 gig version to see how the processing difference is between them. But the 16 gig isn't that bad. It's to me, it's kind of like what you expect on a new scanner on the market. Like it's okay. It's nothing to write home about and be like, this is the greatest thing ever. It gets the job done to an extent. So internal memory is 256 gig. That's only the 16 gig processing model. Yes. I don't know what the 32 gig is going to have. I believe it's a 256 as well. But it's just the fact that it has more processing RAM speed or abilities, at least. I just hit the sub on YouTube. Awesome. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. They posted the Pro model with the 32 gig on the Kickstarter. Yes, they did. So the most that you would pay right now for it is $1,151. But that's like if all the other pledges were gone, which there's still a couple hundred pledges available on each and every tier that is available right now. The cheapest that you can get it right now is about $800. So that's pretty good. And these are due to release in December. That doesn't necessarily mean that they will be in your hands in December, but they're usually pretty good about shipping things and getting it out to people in a timely manner. So again, this is probably one of the better Kickstarters to back if you've never backed anything, and it's probably more of a safer bet. Very rare do they have any issues with customer support on their stuff. So anyway, yeah, they posted the Pro model. All right. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm actually kind of getting tired here, so maybe we'll head off for the night. But if not, we'll try and pop in on another normal live stream if you guys want to be here. We will be in TikTok land, so if you yeah, if you want to check out the scanner, or if you want to ask me anything to try and scan, that would probably be something I would do on one of the live streams. So anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Till next time, happy printing.